We are on the morning break in the third day of questioning of the undercover police officer Robert Hastings, who, using the cover name Rob Harrison, spied upon a State of Emergency Collective, No Borders Network, International Solidarity Movement, Disarm Dicey, Rampart Social Centre, lots of other things. I'm joined by Emily Apple, who was mentioned quite extensively this morning. What did you make of, mentions about you and mentions about everything else? We've gone through a lot of his reports this morning.
We've gone through a lot of his reports this morning. I mean, in terms of his reporting, just to start with, utterly useless.
Yeah, blatantly.
I mean, he's not covering anything.
I mean, just to say, in terms of the quality of the reports that we've seen in general, they're useless reports. I mean, we could say they're all useless or whatever, but just in by their own terms,
by their own terms, they just don't have any useful information.
And the ones we just saw was a long list of people at the meeting, and every single one of them was surname unknown. Yeah. So it's just a lot of first names, surname unknown, no trace for their big reference number. I mean, it's just like there are lots of first names for people at a meeting. I mean, just crap by anybody's standards.
Yeah, but also sort of quite sinisterly, we had it again because we, I talked about it with my child being named in my files. There's another friend of ours who's in these files whose child is named. Again with the no trace, so that they've done the research on this child. And I know that you might have covered it. So, when he was originally asked about it, it was just like, oh, well, that might help identify this person. This person is very identifiable. Knowing this person, the fact that they've got a child is not the thing that was going to be the thing that identified them.
He's totally unapologetic for it, though. He's absolutely yes. It's absolutely important to report on. In fact, what's a 12-year-old being doing taken outside a protest?
Well, even to a meeting or anywhere. Anywhere near those anarchists or activists. But we've been going over his sexist language again. I mean, this is an officer that absolutely hates strong women. He has a real, and his issue with me, he describes me as a strong female, like a matriarch. So yes, that was why I was picked up on, because he describes me as a matriarch, which is grossly sexist language. He claims he might have said that about a man, but it's absolute bullshit. There's absolutely no way he would have said that about a man. But for me, it was quite interesting looking into his eyes as he was talking about me being a strong female and with a strong sense of being able to change the state. I can't remember his wording, but it was just his eyes just totally showed what he thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, he did look at you as he was talking about it. I'm also this morning, quite disturbing moment. Maya is in the public gallery. At one point, she got up to leave the room. He stopped listening and just stared at her until she left the room. And then he said, "Can I have a moment, please?" And then had to get. I don't know what. I mean, it was really there's something really gross about it.
That was so gross. He, I said this yesterday. He's actually scared me. I actually don't get scared by people very often. I don't say this. I really, really don't say this lightly, because I'm not the sort of person who gets scared by people. I have a very much fuck you attitude to people who I don't like, but I have a fuck you attitude to him as well. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But no, but he is actually. I do actually find him chilling. I find him scary. And
I mean, he's been doing this for the last 3 days. He stares at Maya all the time. A lot. He's asked questions. He sort of answers them by staring at her in a really creepy, disturbing way.
It's really, really creepy. I mean, she is utterly incredible and full love and solidarity to her. Absolutely. And I don't know how she is dealing with listening to this, because actually, I mean, this might just be me, but I find it harder listening to them talk about us than I do talking about our own experiences and stuff like that. Even giving evidence, I actually found easier in the end than actually listening to some of the things that they say. So I don't know how she or any of them dealt with actually listening to what these officers, and stop swearing.
You don't have to stop swearing. Fuck these fucking fuckers. These fucking bastards. What these fucking bastards said. I was just fuck these guys.
Okay. I'll just keep fucking swearing. You're just going to have the last day of just swears.
Yeah.
But also, sort of more of his sexist language. He described a woman as buxom, was it?
Yeah, and unusually black.
Yes.
What the fuck's that mean? I'm just like,
Oh, then he got a bit of I mean, it was just disgusting, like his sexist reporting. And I mentioned it in my evidence, so I can mention it. That there's another report where he describes someone else as a matriarch as well. This goes throughout all his reporting. And then he tried to make some snide comment about anarchists that we had rules at a camp. And
Isn't it strange that anarchists have rules?
I'm just taking the moments of light relief at the moment, to be honest. He is so horrible and fucking evil that whenever those like moments of light relief with him, I'm taking them, because that was just. But I think it underlies a serious point. So these people spent years in our movements and they don't understand our movements. Like, they have no conception of our politics.
Just quickly for viewers. I mean, like, anarchists have lots of rules. We're really big on rules. We're really against leaders. It's really simple. I mean, it comes from the Greek. It's without leader, without ruler. You know what I mean? It's not about rules. Rules are good. We're all for rules. We're big on rules. I'm fucking a stickler.
And we just like deciding them ourselves. And holding ourselves accountable to them, rather than having a state that is imposing them on us.
Exactly. Yeah. Basics. Day one shit.
101 anarchy.
Really.
But the other thing I wanted to pick up on was when he was being asked about a series of reports around state of emergency that he infiltrated, and in particular around why I was targeted and why people thought that there's a report that says that other activists are worried about my emails being monitored or stuff like that. And this fucking has the cheek to turn around and go, well, a lot of those activists had a heightened self-importance of their value to the state. So there you go. You were getting paid a fortune for spying on our movements, for being in all our meetings. And you think you can sit there and say we had a self-heightened importance? And
it's like, why do the basis of this world? Well, they're getting so much attention from forward intelligence. Oh, they thought they were so important because they were getting so much attention. Like, I think, like, it's just such a mental way of looking at things.
Absolutely, and like
nonsense.
And like, we didn't want to have that.
No, we really didn't.
Like, we really just wanted to get on and do things and create change and have protests. Like, we didn't want to have this involvement with the state. We don't like the state. We don't want them in our lives. Can they please just go away? But also, there's loads of other reports. When there's suggestions of other means being deployed, it's not, I mean, like, we all knew that was the case anyway, but it's not like it's even denied in the files. And for him to sort of turn around and say that, I mean, he thinks he's incredibly clever and he's not. He's incredibly arrogant. He's got utter contempt for all of us, especially for women. And yeah, he is just fucking vile.
Vile. We had a bit of stuff about him going to Germany for the G8.
Yep.
He was asked about.
That was interesting. We haven't gone there with anyone yet.
No, we haven't. No, it's a rare thing for the inquiry to actually look at stuff that happens outside of Wales and England. So this was the G8, the German G8. Had details of people traveling, yourself traveling over there with VSP. Also, he was asked about seeing other undercover officers there. He said yes. HM118. Simon Wellings was there. Also, he saw Mark Kennedy on a train. He says he saw Marco Jacobs at a meeting in London beforehand. So, he claims at the time he wasn't briefed about who the MPORU officers were, but in retrospect, he knew. Yeah, which,
Well, we had this strange comment about, there were two comments I picked up on separately with that. One was that he said he had to stage an intervention to speak to Simon Wellings.
Yes.
And then he started going on about his mental health, but we never quite got to what that intervention was, or whether that was to do with Wellings being this field daddy, as Wellings liked to put it, as being the sort of senior SD officer in the field who, like, other undercovers went to for their welfare needs, but we didn't get into what that was.
What's interesting is he says he spoke to Simon Wellings there, and I'm like, oh, someone spoke to Simon. I spoke to Simon Wellings there. The only time I ever spoke to him, that one time for a few moments, like 30 seconds or something. But generally, like, someone's put me like, oh, thank God, there's another cover copy or somebody to talk to.
Yeah, that was right. But I think the other thing was she said about Kennedy and Jacobs, and then she said about other undercover cops, and then she said, oh, being careful with names. So it's that sort of first indication of whether we're getting near the ones that we don't know about as well, and how many of them were in Germany.
Yes, absolutely. We've been given the impression that the majority of the closed officers were ones who were in other fields, by which we take to understand to be the far-right fascist movements. But we don't know that at all. And it could well be that there were undercover officers in our movements that are enclosed for whatever reason.
And I think especially with the MPIU, because we've got so many, it's actually quite a small proportion of officers that we know about. And I think most of the ones, certainly the vast majority, I mean, same with all of it, but the vast majority are the ones that we've exposed over the years. And it feels, in terms of the coverage that we know about with the MPOU, I am absolutely sure there's MPOU officers in our movements on our side.
Yes.
That we don't know about and have been given anonymity because, and again, it's one of these things that we're going to have to come back to in tranche 4 because those decisions were made based on the fact they were serving police officers or still doing different fields of undercover work around 12 years ago now. So by the time we get to 2027,
they might have got their retirements. They might have died of old age.
We might all have retired by then.
Yeah. There's no retirement from this, comrade. You don't get to quit. But yeah, no, I mean, I think this, and it's something that we definitely need to revisit with whoever the next chair is, because I think a lot of the decisions that have been made on, again, the exaggeration of perceived risk, which is, the hallmark of so much of what these undercover officers did. And what they're really good at is exaggerating perceived risk. Yeah. That is their main skill. It's only a short break. We should probably head back in fairly soon.
Dicey Car Park.
Please.
I need to get back in for that.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be getting to the Dicey events. We've started looking at things with Dicey. We've said that this is going to be about Dicey. Thanks for joining us. Please like, share,